Hi, it's Ramsey Dewey with the JX Fight Club in Shanghai, China. And we've got a question today, a very general question from one of our subscribers about the infamous Frank Dux. If you don't know who that is, he's the guy who inspired the movie Bloodsport, which was totally awesome. But he's also surrounded by a lot of controversy. The man has made a lot of claims which have been disputed, and now I'm not necessarily here today to dispute his claims. Okay? I'm just giving you my opinion of the man. Now, first of all, he inspired that movie, which was totally awesome. I think everybody from my generation who watched that film got really inspired. And, it was Jean-Claude Van Damme doing the splits and doing jumping, spinning kicks and knocking people out in a no-rules fighting tournament. Oh, wow, that was awesome. You know, before the UFC happened, we had this idea of ultimate fighting scene on screen. I mean, that sort of thing happened before with movies like Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. But, Frank Dux and Jean-Claude Van Damme brought it to another level with Bloodsport. They made it modern for the time. I gotta say, that movie inspired me to get flexible because I was a very inflexible child. And I got beaten up a lot by bullies, and I was inspired by a lot of martial artists I saw in the movies, like Bruce Lee, for example. The little guy fighting off tons of other guys. But when I saw that training montage where Jean-Claude Van Damme is training to do the splits, and then he does those spinning high kicks and stuff, I thought, maybe if I train to do the splits, I can kick the bullies in the head and stop them. And so from that day forward, I made it a point to do something every day to get more flexible. And today, I can do the splits. Now, I never had that encounter with the school bully where I did that spinning high kick in his head or anything like that, but, over the long run, over the course of my life, and as a professional fighter and as a coach later on in my life, that has always been a huge attribute. So, for whatever the man has or hasn't done, what he has done with that movie alone is inspire a whole generation of martial artists. So that's a good thing. Now, that being said, there are a lot of claims he's made that a lot of other people have made videos about disputing and so on. What I haven't really seen is anybody really making commentary about what Frank Dux has shown. So I looked through the internet trying to find the video evidence of what he has actually done that's documented, and I found a few things. For example, we can see him breaking some bricks, similar trick to what he does in the movie where he breaks the bottom brick by hitting the top one. And he can really do that in real life. He's done that a number of times. You can watch it here on YouTube. Now, it's not a feat of magic. It is something that can be learned. I mean, I'm a big fan of breaking demos. I love that stuff. I used to do breaking demos all the time, breaking bricks and breaking boards and other various construction supplies, breaking with the hands and the elbows and the feet. It's fun. It's really exciting to watch. Okay? But Mr. Dux did a demo, and I'm going to show a video of that, where he claimed to break bulletproof glass with a strike from his hand, and also to break some bottles, not just break them, but to smash them into tiny little bits with a palm strike downward and also with a kick. And when I saw that video, something didn't sit right with me, and I'm going to go into detail about that later.
I like to review fighting technique, and since there's not a great deal of fighting technique from Frank Dux on YouTube, pretty much all we have is some conceptual martial arts such as hand fighting, eye gouging, wrist locking, which, can conceivably work, but again, these videos don't give us a good idea of whether or not he was an actual good fighter or not. And we've got his brick breaking demos. A few years ago, this video was released, which allegedly was Frank Dux. However, this has been disputed. The claim was that this was Frank Dux' kumite. It has been said that this actually was not Frank Dux. A few years later, that it was a Swiss fighter, completely different name. So, who knows? What we're looking at here is some form of martial arts competition, full contact karate, no idea. But this is really interesting. that isn't breaking like glass, in my opinion. That is shattering into small particles. Do you know what else shatters like that? You ever seen a movie where they smash a bottle over somebody's head? And you know that's not real glass, they're smashing over actors' heads. It's called sugar glass. And you can make it. You can find tutorials here on YouTube of how to make your own, or you can buy your own from a prop shop. They're not really that expensive. I mean, check out this clip right here, where a girl gets a sugar glass bottle smashed over her head. Doesn't really hurt. Why? Because it's made out of sugar, shatters into tiny little shards and particles, and it's 100% edible. It's sugar, after all. Now this next one, Frank Dux claimed to break bulletproof glass. Now, people who don't know what bulletproof glass might be impressed by this, but if we take a close look at the slow motion replay, we say that that's a single pane of glass. Bulletproof glass is multiple panes glued together at different angles to create a bulletproof surface. I gotta tell you, no matter how big or strong or tough you are, man, your punching power does not equal that of an AK-47. And 3 rounds from an assault rifle right here didn't even pierce that glass. This man is so confident he's hiding behind that windshield. Now check out this next video. I sped this up for time and edited it. This man with a sledgehammer used a sledgehammer and then a pickaxe for 6 minutes straight, landing over 60 consecutive strikes before he finally pierced, not shattered, but pierced the bulletproof glass. I mean, just look at it again and again and again before he finally gets that first little hole in it. I mean, this stuff is tough. Extremely tough. This is a heavy guy. The guy probably weighs at least 250, 275 pounds. That's a lot of weight behind that sledgehammer and that pickaxe. Now, I searched YouTube to try to find what the lowest caliber bullet is that can pierce bulletproof glass. It's this one, a 50 caliber bullet. That's a armor-piercing anti-tank round. Yeah, we're talking rounds that, can break through the armor of an actual tank. Alright, and even then, it doesn't shatter the glass, it pierces it with a bullet-shaped hole, leaving fractures right there. Let's compare that once again to the slow-motion replay of Frank Dux breaking this single pane of glass. That's a single pane. So, in the end, what is my opinion of Frank Dux? Well, I don't really know. Like I said before, because of him we have that awesome movie Bloodsport, which was a great inspiration to many martial artists and just a really cool movie back in the day. But then we have all that controversy. For example, this video clip on the left. It's been said this is not actually Frank Dux, but French martial artist Philippe Cadoret in a full-contact martial arts tournament that happened over a decade after Frank Dux allegedly competed in his kumite. So, what is the truth? Well, with a guy like this, we'll never really know for sure. So, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.